Hello there, welcome to Mission MBA, a place where learning is fun. So here we are again with a recent buzz in the GMAT world, GMAT new pattern and the sudden changes in the pattern from the past year. So we will talk about the both changes that occurred from the past year and how they are going to affect a GMAT aspirant, how they're going to make the paper difficult or easy. Try to stay till the end of the video and of course you're going to learn a lot more about GMAT. GMAT exam. It consists of 4 sections, namely AWA, that is Analytical Writing Assessment, IR, that is Integrated Reasoning, Quant section, and the 4th one is Verbal section. We will talk about the sections in detail in our another video, but right now let's concentrate on the pattern change. The first change that occurred in the last year. You can choose the order of sections now you want in your exam. Earlier, the order was fixed as specified above. First, AWA section, then IR, then Quant, and then Verbal. But now, you can choose the order of your sections. Notice, this is the screen that will appear in your GMAT exam. You will have 3 options. Either go with the one which was previously there, that's AWA, IR, Quant, and Verbal. Or you can go with this one, Verbal, Quant, Integrated Reasoning, and then Analytical Writing Assessment. And the last option that GMAT provides you is Quantitative, Verbal, then IR, then AWA. Well, our students have been more successful with this second pattern, attempting the Verbal first. Most of the aspirants were engineers and they were facing problem with the Verbals, so they attempted Verbal at the first go. So they were least fatigued and scored well. One thing which you should notice that GMAT only provides you 2 minutes to make your selection. So you should be very sure before the exam that which section you're going to take, first, second or third. If you do not choose any option, automatically you will be given the first option, that is AWA, IR, then Quant and then Verbal. So it is recommended that you decide your order prior to your exam and practice most of the mock tests with the same order. Now let us talk about the sections in details and the second changes which occurred. AWA section, that is Analytical Writing Assessment. The section remains the same. There is no change in this section. You'll get 1 argument issue essay and the maximum score would be 6. Highlight points over this. Scale factor would be 0.5. That means you can get a score of 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Good score, 4 or 4 plus out of 6. Reflects in score out of 800? No, it does not reflect in the score out of 800. The second section, the IR section. Again, there is no change in this section as well. You have 12 questions and the maximum score is 8. The key factors about this is, the scale factor is 1. That means you get a score of 5, 6, 7 and so on. What is a good score over here? 5 or 5 plus out of 8. Does this account in the score out of 800? No. The IR section and the AWA section does not reflect your score from 800. They have their specific scoring out of 6 and 8 respectively. So the third section is Quantitative Section. Here there is a little change. The number of questions as well as the timings have been decreased. Let us have a further look. Previously, you used to have 37 questions, 75 minutes. That accounts for 2 minutes and 4 seconds per question. But now, the numbers of questions have been reduced to 31. The total time is reduced to 62 minutes and it accounts for 2 minutes per question. That means overall a 4-second decrease is there in every question. The key factors. The scale factor similar to IR is 1 again over here. A good score is 48 or 48 plus out of a total score of 51. Does this reflect in your score out of 800? Definitely yes. The fourth and the final section, the Verbal section. Here also, the number of questions as well as the timings have been decreased. Previously, you used to have 41 questions, 75 minutes, That means 1 minute and 49 seconds per question. Now, the number of questions are 36, the total time is 65 minutes, therefore the time per question is 1 minute and 48 seconds. Overall, just a 1 second decrease over every question, which is not a lot. Scale factor is 1, similar to quant. The score also out of 51, but a good score is here 35 or 35 plus. Reflection score of 800? Definitely yes. So the quant and the verbal section are gonna make your score out of 800. You'll get a score from 200 to 800. The time per question is almost the same, so not much difference over here in terms of time per questions. So here is the GMAT pattern for you. IR, score out of 8, AWA, score out of 6, quant and verbal, score out of 51. These two sections will make your score out of 800. A score above 700 is considered good. It is basically 90 percentile plus score. After every section, there is a break of 8 minutes, which is same as was in the previous pattern. Let us further understand how many questions of each type can be seen. The quantitative section, it consists of two types of questions: data sufficiency questions and problem solving questions. What are each of the types of question? You can see them in our later videos. But for now, let us understand how many questions of each type can appear. So when you are hitting a quant 51 kind of score, that's a very good score. So the total questions 37. In that earlier you used to get a 20 DS questions and 70 problem solving questions when you are hitting a quant 50 or 51. But on the other hand, if you hit a low score somewhere around quant 30, then you can expect to see 15 questions of DS and 22 questions of PS or problem solving. So basically, the better your exam, the more DS questions you are likely to see. Now, when the questions have been reduced to 31, 17 DS questions and 14 problem solving questions if you hit the exam well. And on the other hand, 13 DS questions and 18 problem solving questions if your exam goes bad, somewhere around quant 30. So let us discuss the question types in the verbal section. Previously, you used to have 41 questions. The total number of questions that appeared in RCs were 12 to 14. But the point to note is that you were given 4 passages, out of which the questions were asked. Critical reasoning accounts for 10 to 14 questions and 14 to 18 questions were asked over sentence correction. Now, when the questions have been reduced to 36, now you're going to see 3 or 4 passages in the exam. 70% of the people who appeared in the exam, they saw 3 passages now, but 30% also saw 4 passages. The questions accounts for 10 to 12 questions. Critical reasoning 11 to 13 questions. Sentence correction 12 to 15 questions. Most likely you're gonna take 3 RCs now, and that is the good news for most of the aspirants. You're gonna expect more questions over SC than CR. Has the exam become more difficult now? Let us bust this myth out. Now, as per our idea, there are both positive points as well as the negative points over the exam. Now, since the number of questions have been reduced, you're going to get less fatigued, so you will be able to focus for longer time, or maybe for the entire exam. Most likely, you're going to face 3 RCs rather than 4. Now, RCs usually take longer time, so you're going to save a lot of time over here, even the fatigue. Negative points. The long run has been converted into a sprint. So, you have to be on your toes during the exam. You'll have less time to cover up your mistakes if you made any. So, the initial game should be very good, otherwise you're going to face a lot of trouble because now you have no time to cover it up. Now let us see what is the viewpoint of the students who have appeared for the exam. They also had some positive postulates and some negative postulates. students were able to focus till the end of the exam, unlike they were in the mocks, because of course the paper size was reduced. Now, negative points. The questions, especially in the verbal, students find them tough, and they thought they were little more difficult than the expected questions, which they did in the mocks. What it takes to reach 700? Another question that has been asked a lot of time. So here is a chart. You can go over this chart, you can pause the video and see that if you think that you're going to score Quant 50 or 51, what score is going to take you where? So if you score Quant 50 and Verbal 40, you're likely to get 730. Notice that this score can go a 10-point high or a 10-point low than the given score on a particular day. But more or less, you're going to get this score only. So what is a good score? Here is the line of the good score that shows your score 700 or 700 plus. So now, plan yourself, aim for a score in Quant, aim for a score in Verbal, and see how you're going to take to 700 plus score. The later videos will comprise of some tips and the tricks to attempt the question, what should be your section breakdowns, with the times, how many questions to attempt in first 15 minutes or how many time to be taken in first 10 questions in each section. Thank you people for seeing the video. Hope you liked it and you have gained some of the extra information about the GMAT. Thank you and have a nice day.